In today's video, I'm going to show you 6 booster boxes to maximize profit in 2026. So these are 6 booster boxes that I've handpicked that I think are going to bring about the maximum profit for yourself in 2026. Now, before we jump into those 6 examples, a couple of things. I wanted to talk you through how and why booster boxes move in price. Now, some of you have watched this channel for a long time and I really appreciate your continued support, and other people are probably tuning into the channel for the first time. Maybe they've just got into Pokemon investing. Maybe you've been here for 5 years or 10 years or since literally base set came out. Everyone's got different levels of experience, but just to remind people, booster boxes are funny because there's a few things that drive the price and there's a few things that change the price. But one thing I want to remind everyone about, this isn't a video about why booster boxes go up in price, but I do want to remind everyone about a very important point. The price movement you see on booster boxes isn't linear. It's not going up by $8 a week in, week out. That's not happening. So it's not like every booster box goes up $400 a year in a very linear scale. It's not climbing a staircase up. So first of all, different booster boxes move at different rates. Second of all, it's not linear. And by not linear, what you'll often see when it comes to booster boxes is, and look, different booster boxes buck the trends, and it can depend on a lot of things. It can depend on how hyped the hobby is, whether there's an introduction of an anniversary, whether there's an introduction of a mobile game, whether there's influencers in the space, whether a set's age is starting to creep up on it, whether supply of a set is starting to go, whether community sentiment towards the chase cards inside that set have changed and we start seeing massive price increases in the chase cards. There's a huge amount of reasons, I should say, as to why things change and why booster boxes might see either stagnation or an acceleration in price. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. It's not linear. Quite often what we'll see is it's stagnant for a while, then all of a sudden something changes. Like I said, supply runs out, influencers hype it, chase cards go up in value more. Whatever it might be, we see an increase in the price of the booster box. And it can happen quite rapidly like that, as in the space of a month or 2 months or 3 months, we see massive price changes. And probably the clearest example I can give you right now, and I know it's not a booster box, is Prismatic Evolutions. I've been saying for ages to buy that box. Over the last 6 months, I was like, it's just the easiest investment. Like I can't see anything, I can't see a better investment at the moment, considering how overpriced everything is and the price point Prismatic Evolutions Elite Trainer boxes were sitting at. And now that it's like, you know, it's had multiple print runs and a lot of people are thinking, well, is it going to get another one or is it done? Like, are Elite Trainer boxes finally done? And all of a sudden, what we see is the floor of the market rise rapidly. Like in the space of literally 3-4 weeks, it's gained so much value. And that's what we'll see with booster boxes. So that's what I just wanted to reiterate when it comes to booster boxes. My first example of a booster box that I think is going to maximize your profit in 2026, and everyone bags out the way I say this, and it's, I don't know, it must just be the Aussie accent. PE, Paldea Evolved. Damn it, someone's going to bag that out anyway. $472 is the current booster box price. Its total set value now is eclipsing $1,400. And if you look at the last 6 months of the booster box's price, it's been relatively stable. So we haven't seen massive amounts of growth in the last 6 months. So one could argue that because we've had that stabilization period on Paldea Evolved, that we might well see an increase in booster box price. And there's also a couple of things that I think are in this box's favor for 2026, and hence why I think it's going to be one of the ones that you can maximize profit on for 2026. We've seen a 6-month stabilization on the box price. It's going to go out of rotation this year, which means, geez, it would be extremely unlikely for us to see a reprint on this box. In fact, it goes out of rotation very shortly. It is not far off leaving rotation and being out of competitive play and no longer having any time in the sun. I think there's also a few other things that help this set. If you look at the chase cards inside it, it doesn't have a massive lineup, as in, well, I shouldn't say it doesn't have a massive, it's got a massive lineup in terms of depth. It doesn't have a massive lineup in terms of top 5. Like, it's not like all 5 chase cards are above $100 and the top 2 are above $300. That's not the case. But that doesn't mean it's not going to perform well, because if you actually look at the top chase cards, there's a few things going for them. They're not super expensive, but they're quite expensive. Like they're all north of 50 US dollars. You've also got Magikarp holding a really, really strong price. Or if they're not north of $50, they're very close to being north of $50. And Magikarp holding an extremely, extremely strong price. The other thing that's in its favor is quite low PSA 10 populations for all chase cards. Yes, Magikarp's the one that everyone talks about. So what that means is gem rate's difficult. So these cards are very, very hard to grade. So Magikarp has a low PSA 10 gem rate, meaning the multiplier effect from its raw price to its PSA 10 price is quite big. Another example is that Tyranitar. That also has quite a big multiplier effect from its raw price to its gem mint 10 price. So does Raichu. And I think with all that in mind, we're going to see an increase in booster box price for this one this year. I think it's a good pickup. The second one I wanted to talk to you about is Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars, I've been saying for the last 3 months, buy it. Like it was sub $500. It's just such a good pickup. It's already moved to 583 US dollars. So it's already made a bit of a move for 2026. So if I could rewind time and say it again, like this was such a good pickup. Just so you know, all of these graphics here are straight off the Collector app, which is of course today's video sponsor. There'll be a link in the description to download it. You can see how easy Collector is to use. You can put in your whole sealed and singles collection. You can look at data. The big one for me, and I talk about it all the time, is total set values. Any set you're in, English or Japanese, you can click on set analytics for any given set. So Brilliant Stars for argument's sake, and it'll show you the total set value for Brilliant Stars. And it'll show you the data of how the total set value has been moving over time. And obviously that's a direct correlation between how the chase cards are performing. And with that in mind, how the chase cards are performing, generally speaking, it's very directly related to booster box price. I've done countless videos on this. So with Brilliant Stars, $583 now. So it's moved up, but there still is maximum profit to be gained from Brilliant Stars, in my opinion, for the remainder of 2026. We're seeing a lot of, and I know this isn't related, but we're seeing a lot of 151 cards like the Blastoise and Charizard blast off in price. And it just baffles me that the Charizard from Brilliant Stars, the alternate art, is as cheap as it is. And look, I'm not saying it's cheap. It's not a $20 card, but it just baffles me that it's not a $400 or $500 card. I think it deserves to be. Whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. I don't play enough in the singles space. Singles are volatile. Market shift and demand towards singles and retraction of demand can be changing like the wind, whereas booster boxes or sealed product are a lot more stable. So whether that Charizard does get to that price, I'm not sure. But what has been increasing rapidly in price here is the trainer gallery. Brilliant Stars has an amazing trainer gallery with some starting to become very expensive raw cards inside the trainer gallery. We're seeing a lot of cards north of 50 US dollars in Brilliant Stars' trainer gallery. So when you talk about total set value, the trainer gallery plus the alt arts that you're getting, I think it's going to be a great move, and I've been saying it for the last 3 months anyway. Brilliant Stars is still a good pickup at the price that it's at. My third one, and this is probably, well, it's the most expensive example I've got on the list here, which is Cosmic Eclipse. Cosmic Eclipse is not a cheap booster box. It's 3,800 US dollars. Its total set value is north of 5,500 US dollars. It is huge. One of, if not the biggest, but one of, actually it's the third biggest. It's behind Team Up and then Evolving Skies. So in terms of modern sets, and I'm talking probably, Sun and Moon base onwards, in terms of modern booster box sets, it goes Team Up, highest total set value, Evolving Skies, second highest total set value, and then Cosmic Eclipse, third highest total set value. I think Cosmic Eclipse still has some movement to do. And look, it's probably maybe ballsy to buy a 3,800 US dollar booster box, but keep in mind, the chase cards, it doesn't have that absolute banger or two bangers that Team Up has. Team Up's obviously got the Lovebirds, and it's got the Magikarp and Wailord, and it's got the Gengar and Mimikyu, which are all north of like 900 US dollars now. I think the Magikarp is $1,300 for that Gengar and Mimikyu, and God knows what the Lovebirds are going for. But one thing it does have, Cosmic Eclipse, is it actually has lower PSA 10 pop reports for all its top 10 chase cards in comparison to Team Up. And whether that's because more people send off Team Up cards, I'm not sure. But, Team Up was always touted as this super, super low print run set. And Cosmic Eclipse was low, but it was bigger than Team Up because it got a very small reprint, but it's still low. But you look at the PSA pop reports and they're actually lower in Cosmic Eclipse than what they are in Team Up. Now, that's not necessarily a reason to just go ahead and buy something, but the other thing that I think Cosmic Eclipse has on its side is, of course, that beautiful trainer gallery. So it brings a lot of depth. Like, arguably, it has more depth than Team Up. Like I said, it doesn't have those absolute banger top three. It still has some good chase cards at the top, but it has so much depth when you factor in that trainer gallery. And I think there's still movement to be had for Cosmic Eclipse. It will one day get to Team Up's current price. I think Team Up will always eclipse it just because it's got that name for itself as a really low print run era booster box. But Cosmic Eclipse still has some gains to do. I think, you know, I do think 2026 will see it coming in strong. Now, my cheapest booster box on this list, number 4, is Surging Sparks at sub $250 US. Surging Sparks is under $250. Like, buy. Why is it that price though? Why is it cheaper than Paldea Evolved, for argument's sake? It's cheaper because there's still supply out there. There's still a decent amount of supply of Surging Sparks, and it's not until the market absorbs it, and I've talked about this a lot. So why does a booster box move up in price rapidly all of a sudden, and typically towards when it goes out of rotation? And the reason is, what happens is the box goes from retailers to the general public, collectors, investors alike. And what happens then is the price put on those boxes, that power of the price, moves away from stores and goes into the private hands. And what happens with what's happening at the moment, and the reason we're seeing such massive acceleration in prices of boxes, is because people are buying it all straight up. You know, scalping it, reselling it, whatever. Investors are buying it, collectors are buying it, whatever the reason might be. That is being accelerated, like massively. It's being moved from online stores, brick and mortar stores, straight to the hands of rip and shippers that'll sell packs individually, investors that'll buy them up to hopefully make profit down the track, collectors to display them, and people to resell them instantly for a profit. So essentially scalp them. Like that is what's happening. So Surging Sparks at the moment though, there's still a little bit of supply hanging around, you know, the brick and mortar, the online store place, the eBay stores. And until all of it gets in the hands and starts getting ripped open a little bit more, it's going to remain a cheap booster box. But mark my words, that will happen. And look, whether that happens in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whether this moves into 2027, it's going to be a fantastic pickup at sub $250 US. Fifth one on my list is Lost Origin. Lost Origin is currently $731 US. I've talked in depth so far about this being Sword and Shield's year, and it will be. Look at the last 6 months of Lost Origin. It's been relatively stable as well. And what we'll start to see is a couple more things. I think we'll start to see the trainer gallery cards really start to push up in price. There are three of them, 3 beautiful Pikachus sitting inside Lost Origin's trainer gallery, coupled with the fact that it has 2 absolutely banger chase cards, one being phenomenal. The Aerodactyl is beautiful, and the Giratina is just Shinji Kanda at his absolute best. That card absolutely pops off. And at $731 US, this is only going to get rarer and only going to get more expensive in 2026. Finally on my list is Fusion Strike. And look, I know there's a few Sword and Shield boxes, but of course we have some Scarlet and Violet ones on there as well. Fusion Strike is still a sub $1,000, so it's $957. It also has had a pretty stable 6 months. So sets like Lost Origin, Fusion Strike, and Paldea Evolved that I was talking about, that stable 6 months, there's every chance we'll see that spike up in price in the not too distant future. Now, Fusion Strike has absolutely no right having the top 6 cards that it has. These are so good, and it's finally, in my opinion, getting its time in the sun. It was left in the shadows of so many other sets for so long. Look at the top 6. Gengar, Espeon, 3 Mews, a Mew VMAX, a Mew V Alt Art, so 2 Alt Art Mews, a Mew Rainbow, which is a really good looking card, mind you, and the beautiful Celebi on there. Like, it has no right having such a beautiful top 6. It also has no right being such a damn good looking box. Gone are the days where we have nice boxes. I mean, look at the Mega Evolution boxes. Like, how boring can you get? How much white can you have on all the Scarlet and Violet boxes? Like, bring back a good looking booster box. Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, good looking boxes. Like, there are collectors that want to collect them because they're good looking boxes. Not everyone wants to rip them open, resell them, invest in them. Some people just like to collect them. So that's another thing that's on its side. Well, there you go. There's 6 boxes that I think you can buy up for maximum profit in 2026. I'm Michael, this is Poke Hours. Thanks everyone so much for tuning in. I'll catch you all next time.